You ever hear the sound of $100,000 turning into scrap metal at sunrise? Because let me tell you, there's nothing quite like the sound of your neighbor's brand new Bentley getting flattened under a tractor, especially when that neighbor is Karen Reynolds, president of the HOA, queen of the pink robe and the iron clipboard. I swear if you'd told me a year ago that I'd end up squaring off with the meanest, most petty woman in Maple Creek Estates, I would have laughed you right off my porch. But here we are. Let me back up a sec. 6 months ago, I thought I'd found my slice of peace out here at the edge of town. Little ranch-style place, a red barn, enough room for me and my old Labrador Bruno to breathe. I wanted quiet mornings, strong coffee, and nothing but crickets and coyotes after dark. That lasted about a week, because the first knock at my door wasn't a neighbor with a casserole. It was Karen's sunglasses bigger than her face frown, even bigger clipboard at the ready. "You must be the new homeowner. We have standards here," she sniffed, looking me up and down like I'd tracked in mud. Which, to be fair, I had. "That barn of yours looks rustic. Might need to be repainted." I thought she was kidding. "It's a barn, Karen. Rustic is the whole point." But she didn't laugh. She just handed me a violation. 3, actually, by the end of the week, barn color, fence height, and get this, excessive dog barking. Bruno only barks at trespassers. Guess who kept setting him off? Now I'm a reasonable guy. I tried fixing the fence, painting the barn door, even helped Karen carry a box once. "Need a hand?" I asked. "No, thank you. I don't accept help from people who don't respect community rules." "Okay, Mrs. Reynolds. Point taken." No matter what I did, she pushed harder. If I mowed the field, she sent a note about grass clippings on the sidewalk. If I had folks over for a burger, she'd crash the party with her clipboard unapproved gathering. "You'll get a fine in the mail." And my neighbor's good people got real quiet around her. She had everyone walking on eggshells. But everything came to a head one Saturday morning. Sun barely up, I go out to meet my hay delivery, and what do I find? Karen's silver Bentley parked smack in front of my barn door's plates. Still temporary. Paint still shiny. She's standing beside it in heels, arms crossed, smirking. "HOA, parking lots being repaved," she says, sweet as syrup. Only flat spot I could find. I tell her, "Karen, you're blocking my barn. Maybe this'll teach you that rules apply to everyone." She chirps, clicks her fob, and walks off, leaving her $200,000 monument to pettiness right where I need to work. I stood there, fists clenched, staring at that car Patience running on empty. That's when I spotted my old tractor, the same one she'd reported me for running before 8 a.m. Something in me snapped. I fired it up the engine, roaring louder than my conscience. Front loader dropped tires, rolling, that Bentley looming like a challenge. "You brought this on yourself, Karen," I shouted over the engine, and I meant it. Before I could finish the job, though, fate threw in a twist. Footsteps behind me. Not Karen this time, but Officer Daniels, coffee in one hand, badge on the other. "Morning, Tom." "What are we doing with the tractor? I killed the engine. Trying to move hay. But, well," I pointed at the car. He sighed, eyeing the Bentley like it was evidence at a crime scene. "She's called twice this week, already complaining about you." Then Karen came storming back, phone raised, ready to film her victory. "You saw him." "He threatened my car," she yelled. Daniels just shook his head. "Karen, your car's blocking his barn. That's private property. Everything here is under HOA oversight," she snapped. "He should apologize. For what I said, for saying your rules don't override common sense." She just glared, demanding an apology for embarrassing her at the last board meeting. That's when Daniels lost patience. "Move your car or I'll have it towed," he told her, radioing for a truck when she refused. Karen's jaw hit the gravel. "You'll regret this," she shrieked as her precious Bentley got winched away, tires spinning, neighbors peeking through their curtains. For the first time, the queen of the HOA wasn't in control, and man did it show. But she wasn't done. That evening, a letter landed on my doorstep, official HOA complaint full of twisted accusations, unauthorized equipment, threats, hostile behavior. I laughed out loud. Next morning, The Bentley's back even closer to the barn with a note in angry black marker. Try that again and I'll have you arrested for vandalism. If this was a movie, I'd have stormed over right then, but I tried calling the HOA instead. We'll review it next meeting. That's 6 days from now. Yeah, thanks for nothing. Delivery guy couldn't unload my hay. Karen swanned out, complaining about filthy trucks and threatening more fines. When I finally told her off, she leaned in close, whispering, "Touch my car, and you'll never live peacefully here again." Bruno barked at her like he understood every word. That night, my tractor's back tire got slashed, red heel prints leading away through the dirt. She wanted me angry, wanted me to snap. But instead, I got smart. Next morning, I started setting up cameras, taking photos, documenting every move. Then came the breaking point. I woke up to criminal spray painted in red across my barn. Called Daniels again. He took prints, shook his head. "Keep calm. Let her dig her own hole," he said. But the real twist, Paul from the board shows up with a flash drive footage of Karen sneaking out to the barn the night before, dragging my tools into her car, caught clear as day. "We're filing for her removal tomorrow," he whispered. "You just sit tight." So the next morning, the emergency vote went down. Karen tried everything, crocodile tears, threats, playing the victim. But Daniel showed the video. Neighbors backed me up, and one by one the ballots came in. 26-3, she was out. Her face crumpled, rage turning to panic as her last friends dropped her like a hot potato. Paul took her nameplate, Mrs. Jenkins gave me a muffin, and the neighborhood started to feel like home again. But you know, villains never leave quietly. She left threats in my mailbox, spray painted, "Payback is coming across my fence," even called the county to complain about unregistered agricultural activity. Inspectors showed up rolling their eyes, but forced to check everything. Online, she claimed I'd faked evidence, bribed the board, set her up. One night, headlights returned. Karen's Bentley, battered but still defiant, crept up my drive. She stepped out wild-eyed, hauling gasoline cans, muttering about how I'd ruined her life. Before I could stop her, she sloshed fuel on my barn, flicked a lighter, and in that instant, everything turned slow motion. I tackled her just as the flame caught Daniel's arriving cuff in her while she screamed about justice, about respect, about how I'd destroyed her world. Maybe I had, but only because she tried to burn down mine first. She got arrested, sent for a psych evaluation. Weeks passed. Maple Creek got quieter, lighter, even a little friendlier. Neighbors waved, fences got mended, and I started to believe peace might last. Then one last letter arrived, Karen's handwriting shaky but clear. "You were right, I lost myself. Maybe kindness does win after all." I read it twice, feeling, relief, sadness, maybe both. Maybe. These days, the barn's got a new sign. No trespassing and no grudges. The fields are green. Bruno naps in the shade, and I finally get my coffee in peace. If you're listening to this and wondering whose side you'd be on, let me ask, where's the line between defending what's yours and letting anger take over? Have you ever had a neighbor who pushed you too far? Or maybe you were the Karen once holding on too tight to control? Drop a comment, share your own story, and tell me what would you have done. Because out here at Maple Creek, the battle's over, but the lesson's just begun.